Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of Retro Smash TV. What is up everyone? I hope everyone's had a really good week. Been out game hunting, completed some games and just had an overall really good week. So guys, in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about my plans for 2024 in terms of video game collecting. So, we've all talked about it, we've all got our opinions, but CEX have thrown a massive spanner into the works in retro video game collecting. So that's got me thinking, at the moment, this channel is all geared towards collecting retro and playing retro on a budget. That is the whole aim of this channel. That's the people who I'm trying to appeal to, the people who want to collect on a budget and be able to do things for free, in theory. So that got me thinking. Now, we've had a lot of new subscribers here, so a lot of you may not know this about me, but I collect for Sega Megadrive and Nintendo Switch predominantly. I grew up on Sega Megadrive. It holds a real nostalgic part in my heart. So for me to sort of give up on that for the time being is quite difficult, but we're going to push forward anyway and just see what happens. So this is the plan, guys. This is my new way of thinking. So the way I game is I like to pick games up and be able to just plug and play, I like to call it. Put a game in, play it for a little bit, finish, play a different game, come back to it a couple of days later, weeks, months, whatever. I don't like to invest a hell of a lot of time into big open world games, games where you've got a farm, grind, all of that. That just doesn't appeal to me. The second reason why I collect the way I collect is due to TVs I have. The TVs I have are old. They don't benefit from the new super graphics on like the Series X and the PlayStation 5. The TVs I've got just can't handle that, and it makes no difference to me. So having retro games on newer style TVs suits me absolutely fine. Modern retro, absolutely fine. Something like God of War Ragnarok, for example, I won't benefit from those really crisp, good graphics because my TV is just can't handle it. So I've learned to accept that, and that's absolutely fine. So the way I'm going to be collecting, so I own a Nintendo Switch, I own an Xbox Series X, I also own a PlayStation 4. Now, collecting for the Sega Mega Drive, and then sort of moving into other consoles, Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1, 2, that was what was going to be the plan this year. However, with the CEX price rises, I don't want to have to go to that extra effort to grind out to get this less games, if that makes sense. So the way we're going to be doing this is anything that came out on a Nintendo system, be that the NES, Super Nintendo, GameCube, Wii, whatever, if that has a remastered version or some type of variant to that game and it's available on the Nintendo Switch, that's where I'm going to find my nostalgia. Okay, so a couple of examples is Zelda Link's Awakening. So this is a retro game. I believe it was on the NES. Okay, so they remastered this and made it look different. That's where I'm going to get my nostalgia from. A game like this. Another example, and this is where collecting on a budget comes into play, because this game, for example, the Turtles Cowabunga collection, a lot of these games were on the Super Nintendo and the NES, okay? To collect those individually on those consoles is a hell of a lot more than what this cartridge costs, okay? I can get the same nostalgia from this one disc, cartridge, game, whatever you want to call it, than what I would with purchasing all of those games. For example, Turtles in Time, a very expensive game. The Turtle Fighting game, very expensive game. It's all on here. So that's where I'm going to get my nostalgia from, okay? Now, you can also, on the Nintendo Switch, get the controllers that mimic and look like, feel like the old ones, the Super Nintendo. NES, 8-bit do a fantastic range of controllers. So you don't just have to stick with the Joy-Cons. So that's another example. Being a huge Street Fighter fan, I already own the majority of the Street Fighters that I'm interested in. However, you can get them on one disc, and that is the Street Fighter 30th anniversary disc. This has got 12 different games on it. Covers 30 years. This game costs a hell of a lot less than what it would be if you was to collect all of these individually. And trust me, I know, because I've got a fair few of them. Okay, so that's another example. The list can go on. PlayStation. And the nostalgia for me on PlayStation is games like Tomb Raider. It's games like Rayman. It's Crash Bandicoot. That is where my nostalgia comes from. So if I want to play a Tomb Raider game or a Crash Bandicoot game, I'm going to try and get that on the PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4 do the Crash Insane trilogy. Okay? To buy that one game costs a hell of a lot less than what it would be to buy it on separately. Now, that's not to say that the way everyone else collects is wrong. That I would love to own the originals. Unfortunately, time in my life, growing family, I have to think smartly about where my money goes and make it go further for me. So just pulling out a couple of games on PlayStation 4, Little Big Planet, you can get nostalgia from that. Rayman Legends. If you want to go back to the PS3, you've got The Last of Us remastered already on the PlayStation 4. Moving over to the Xbox, Killer Instinct, that is a retro game. It's like £2. So that is my plans for 2024 and the way I'm going to collect. I've already been making a list of the games that I want to get. I already own a Sega Megadrive controller for the Nintendo Switch. So to me, having this in my hand, it feels no different. It's brilliant. The Nintendo Switch, I've said it, I'll keep saying it, is by far my favourite console of all time, just because of the possibilities. Wonder Boy collection. Now this game ain't great, but GTA the trilogy. If I had the choice, and I'm thinking about this, is selling this and rebuying this on the PlayStation 4 so I can get that real PlayStation nostalgia, because that's what I was playing these games on the PlayStation 2 back in the day. So that's on the horizon. Same with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Was playing this heavily on the PlayStation. Growing up as a teenager, I was playing this all the time. So if I was to have this, I want it on the PlayStation 4. So again, thinking of selling that to get it on the PlayStation 4. If you want a taste of modern retro, Double Dragon. This is brilliant. Get yourself involved. If you're a fan of Double Dragon, if you're a fan of fighting games, if you're a fan of retro, get into this Double Dragon game. Another reason why I'm doing this, the Xbox Series X is backwards compatible. You can play Xbox 360 games, Ultra Street Fighter. I can just play this on my Xbox Series X. I don't even have to load up my Xbox 360. That saves me money there on a console. So there is so many possibilities, guys. Another one which I've just pulled out. Aladdin and Lion King. This is cheap as chips. I know it says $29.99 there. It's not that anymore. You can download this. These games are nostalgia. So, guys, let me know in the comments if you think I'm making a mistake in collecting the way I'm going to collect. I'm not saying I am deserting the Sega Mega Drive. No. Just if a good deal comes up, then I will go for it. But if not, we are going to be growing a collection on the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch. So that leaves me to what's coming up. So guys, I have been busy. There has been some games that have been ordered. I've ordered a limited run game that's coming. I've also ordered a game for the PlayStation 2. So I'm not collecting for those. I'm still collecting heavily for those consoles, but I'm just being a little bit more smarter about it. So guys, let me know in the comments. And another thing, we have hit the very first milestone on my YouTube channel adventure. We now have the ability to open up a store. We can have super thanks. We can have memberships, but I'm not going to utilize that. I don't know enough about it. The next step to completing the YouTube journey is to get to 1,000 subscribers. So guys, if you're enjoying this type of video, you want to see my retro collecting journey through 2024, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up, get involved in the comments and hit that subscribe button. Turn your notifications on so you never miss an episode. And guys, I will see you in the next one. Have a great weekend. I've been Chris. This is Retro Smash TV. Take care.